The prep is complete. We're ready to play. Every individual participating will see this summary screen on their mobile device. You're just going to go ahead and pick any wine closest to you. Different people at the party can taste in whatever time they want, whatever order they want. Highly recommend putting in some verbatims here in the notes section. The stars are really entirely up to you if you want to use that or not. That is great for historical reference. This happens to be a premium account, so there's all these extra questions that someone has desired to have, but you don't have to worry about that unless you or the host have that. You want to click that box about don't make me answer everything. I think that's really important. Now we're going to jump ahead and we're going to say that 8 bottles have been tasted now with an initial taste. We're going to move our favorite, the Wow Forest Green, up to the top by touching the hamburger menu on the right, bringing that up. We're going to move our Hate It Yellow by touching that hamburger menu. You see the yellow change color a little bit, and we're going to slide that all the way down to the bottom and put everything else in between. Now we're going to come back in with the second taste. So the initial round of tasting, really small. If you're using the measured pour spouts, you're getting a 1/2 ounce pour, really tiny. You're able to come back about 3 times, have 1.5 ounces of wine per glass, puts you at just over 2 glasses through a full tasting if you absolutely use all 3 of your 1/2 ounce tastes. You always have to go down to the bottom to hit save. Remember that. Here we've now put in multiple notes. We've gone through a couple rounds of tasting, maybe even gone back and gone through a 3rd round on a couple of them. Again, small 1/2 ounce pours if you're doing it that way. Go ahead and put that in. As you move back to the summary page, you now see the blue diamonds will have the 3 there. We want it in our 3rd spot. This is how we're going to go ahead and lock in. I'm going to hit done. I don't want to review my rankings, so I'm going to go ahead and hit submit, lock in. And now I'm going to wait on this page. As the host, I'm going to stay here until everyone else is done. If I hit complete event early, I'm going to basically stop anyone else from being able to taste. So I want to be very careful as the host not to do that. Once you do hit done, once everyone's done, you've hit the time limit or everyone's done, you're going to get to this page. This is the summary page. You're going to see win, place, and show. You're going to see the group ranking on the left. If I tap my results, the win, place, or show will change at the top, assuming there's multiple tasters. And you're going to get that ranking down the right, just my ranking. No one else will see that. The host doesn't see it. Only each participant sees their own individual ranking. If you want to, tap into any one of the bottles and it'll remind you what you said about that wine. Immediately after the event, as long as you signed in with a regular BottleJockey account, you'll get an email. I've noticed some challenges having this email come through the Apple or Google sign-in process, so consider that if you don't get it. But here it'll show you which bottle of wine, which brand is associated with which silk for both your ranking and the group ranking. So this is a great place to know if you want to go back and retry something. And then lastly, just in perpetuity, as you're at a grocery store 2 weeks later, 2 months later, and you're like, what was that wine we had at that tasting event? You can go back in here. This is your tasting history. You can click on this. You can sort by how recently you did it or vintage or brand, and you can come up with that bottle and you can see how many stars you put on it, or you can tap into it to see your notes. Hope you enjoy BottleJockey. Cheers.